Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast.
Do we have Jack?
Yes, sir.
Close.
Here's Jack.
This is what he looks like.
Yes.
Kind of scary, isn't he?
Wait a minute. I see him now. Oh, he looks like he's got a new hip. Hey, us all.
Yes, exactly. Kind of leaning to the left. Right?
Show us your hips, Jack.
Do a little twerk in action.
Yeah.
Too much Texas two-step, Jack?
I think just too much running, too much baseball. You know, I quit playing baseball just a couple of years ago. So.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What were you like on a club team?
Yeah, I played on men's teams. You know, kind of my whole life. I played from the time I was 3 years old until I was into my 70s.
Really?
Wow.
That's I didn't know that. There's still hope for me.
Yeah, there is.
There you go. Yeah.
But very little, but there's some.
Patient zero over here.
Well, Jack, are you feeling okay? Can you walk?
I can kind of walk. Yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, right now I kind of forget about it when I'm sitting down. When I go to walk, it's kind of stiff and hurts. Yeah. But you know, it's going to be better. It's going to be a lot better.
Was it like you said? You went in the morning, you got out in the afternoon?
Yeah, I got there at 7 in the morning and was back home by 5.
Jeez.
Kind of a long work day. It was harder on my wife because I was asleep for about 2 hours during that time.
Oh, you got a nap, and she didn't.
She didn't, yeah.
Yeah, the drugs must be really good out there in California.
There's plenty of them, I think.
There's no doubt about it.
Let me interject something. Jack, you sent us your latest book, one of your books. My wife did read it. She enjoyed it. She won't tell me the ending because she says I have to read it. So
great.
Appreciate that.
Well, that's
Thank
nice
you.
of you to say that, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, Jack, let's talk about cars, shall we? I understand that the Detroit Auto Show is next up on the big list of places to go, and they've actually got a few more people that are showing displays. That's good news.
Yeah, I think they have something like 40 brands. I think it was the latest I saw in communications from them. We at North American Car of the Year are excited about the Detroit show because we announce our Car of the Year, Sport Utility of the Year, and Truck of the Year. It's basically the first thing that happens at the Detroit Auto Show, so it's a pretty exciting time for us.
Does that actually happen before the doors open to the public?
Yeah, it does. They have a media day,
and
it kind of kicks off the media day.
Do you want me to come and wheel you around there? I'll volunteer to do that.
I'm not certain I'm going to go. Just given the fact that I'm not sure about getting on an airplane in 2 weeks' time, but maybe we'll see.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about the ID buzz that Volkswagen has just said, nah, we're not bringing it to the U.S. next year. We only sold 1,100.
I mean, it's one of those things where, money means so much. People don't grasp, and even a lot of car journalists don't grasp, how important the retail price of these things is. And, that was a cool vehicle. I think a lot of us like a lot of things about it. There's some things about it that many of us don't like, too, kind of irritating. But it's just too darn expensive, right? I mean, it's just, that's the bottom line with that thing. It's cool, but, $70,000-$80,000 for that thing, I'm not sure anybody's going to step up to that, or very many.
No, it's not very utilitarian. I just got out of a Ford Expedition Max, and that thing was $80,000, actually a little bit more than that. But it's much more utilitarian than ID Buzz is.
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. I mean, the prices of things are just kind of blowing me away. I was in Dallas and Fort Worth last weekend. Actually, my middle daughter got married in Fort Worth, and we were driving around in a Lexus LX600, terrific vehicle, but also an MSRP of $120,000. So like I say, terrific vehicle, but wow, that's a lot of money.
If you can afford it, great. But for the most of us, I don't think that it's really some place to go to with, $120,000. That's a lot of money.
You're telling me. Yeah.
Yeah. And my thing is, what happened to the bargain vehicles? There aren't any.
And I think maybe we're going to see some now that we've changed the exhaust emission regulations and the fuel economy regulations, because that was what was really pushing prices up, is the car companies had to, turn somersaults to make that work. To get to the fuel economy requirements that they were supposed to make. And so they have all these exotic type of cars, turbocharged, plug-in hybrids and stuff like that. I mean, think of the complications of those kinds of powertrains. It's just, and every complication adds cost, right? So I think we're going to get much more affordable cars, or at least level things off a little bit as we go forward here.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling that there's going to be a number of car companies that are going to go belly up because of the prices that are being charged for vehicles. I mean, they can't sell enough of them to support the company itself because they're so high priced. It drives people out. You get up there to the $50, $60, $70, $80,000 range, the upper end of the cars these days, and you go, well, wait just a minute. If I thought I'm going to spend $50,000 on that car, I can go over here and spend $45,000 and get a lot more content on this car over there.
And just a nice vehicle. Yeah.
The $5,000 thing, when it gets down to it, I think that could be a real deal breaker, don't you?
Absolutely. I think the smart money for a lot of people is in 2 or 3 year old cars coming off lease, right? I mean, they've got a lot of useful life in them, and they're significantly less expensive than a new one. And your neighbor won't know the difference, right? Your neighbor's not going to see the odometer. So I think that's where the smart money is going these days.
Well, that's where we were with the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
People, we couldn't afford it, couldn't find anything new to buy that we could afford. So we went to used, and there was a big deficit in finding cars that were coming off lease because everybody was snapping them up. You think that that's going to happen again?
Well, I think we're coming out of that whole valley of car production that was COVID caused, right? I mean, there was a big drop in cars that were produced 3 or 4 years ago in the midst of COVID, I mean, because they shut down factories and didn't let car companies make cars. And we're still coming out of that, and so that affects the supply of these late model used cars, and that's where a lot of the smart money goes. So it drives the prices up there because there's relatively few of them comparatively.
Well, let's talk just a minute, shift gears, about the tariff thing that apparently is going to be reviewed again, and now we're going to throw in the USMCA thing. Is that what it is? The Mexico, Canada agreement
Right.
with the tariffs and all of that, that's going to be up in the air, and that's coming up pretty quickly here in January, I understand.
Yeah, I think that, and I think it's likely that instead of making it a trilateral, a deal between Mexico, Canada, and us, we would make separate deals. The United States would make separate deals with Mexico and Canada. Maybe those are easier to negotiate. I think in a lot of ways, this has been good for American manufacturing. We've certainly seen a lot more investment here. We've seen production shift from Canada, say, for things like the Jeep Compass back to Illinois. So that's interesting. The other countries are not real wild about it, but I think Americans, given a choice, would like to buy cars made by Americans in America.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And I think that it gives us a little, as far as American cars are concerned, a little bit of an advantage because the way that the market seems to me today, what's offered by European, Asian, and American vehicles, we've reached kind of a plateau where everything is kind of on an even keel. You don't find really bad cars anymore. If you do, they get called out and they don't sell and they stop making them. But that's rare these days.
Well, it's because they have so many recalls.
Well,
People don't have those anymore.
there are some American car makers that do have a problem with recalls, and I think it's hurting their sales. But I think that too will even itself out eventually.
But that goes back into the manufacturer's processes, not necessarily the quality of the tools or the material that they're using for parts. I mean, if you got a bad process that lets things slip through and your quality checks aren't there, then you're going to have to change that.
Yeah, I think the complication of cars too. I mean, I'm concerned, I don't know that anybody else talks about this, but I'm concerned about all the turbocharged cars that are going into the market these days. I think they're likely to have less longevity than the typical normally aspirated car or truck. And manufacturers are essentially forced to do that by fuel economy regulations that have since been rescinded. But there's a ton of them out there, and we're seeing a lot of hybrids. Most hybrids are fairly bulletproof, but you see some issues with them too. Again, the more complicated I think the drivetrain is, the more potential problems you have.
Well, and to that point, my brother's got a Ram truck, turbo diesel, 60,000 miles on it, whatever. And he had started having a problem, took it to the dealership where he always had it serviced, problem with the turbo. Well, they can't fix it. They have to replace it. $6,000 to go in there and replace the turbo, and it comes as a kit and all this other stuff because they can't fix it. They just take it off and put a new one on. And you take even at a regular level, even if you don't have the turbocharger, you got 10 or 12, maybe even 20 different computer systems running on the car. Where in the world do you start looking?
Yeah, I mean, I've had some electrical problems in a very old vehicle I've had for a long time, and just tracking down, where is the power going, right? I mean, to the point where I have it on a trickle charger a lot of times these days, just to get around.
Well, I could certainly relate to that. I had a problem with my old 2001 Corvette, and I wouldn't hold a charge. I mean, the most I could go was a week of it sitting around, but by then it would barely start. And I thought, okay, I've had enough of this. I'm going to track this down. As it turns out, after spending several $1,000s, it turned out to be the seat, the driver's seat, called a sports seat in 2001. And it had some sort of short in it somewhere, and it was draining the battery. My answer was, get rid of the seats. So out the seat went. I bought me a pair of Corbos. They're absolutely great. They're cloth. They look good. They fit good. Solved all the problems.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are issues that come up on an old car. I understand that, but I think that there are other ways around that. If I had a turbocharger problem and it was going to cost me $5,000, I would definitely start looking around and see what the alternatives would be when it came to buying an alternative diesel vehicle.
Yeah. We have a lot of, just very exotic powertrain vehicles out there that are going to be used cars that I don't think the typical used car buyer is going to want to have, right? I mean, electric vehicles, number one.
Sure.
Who lives in a apartment building in a city wants to have an electric car? I mean, you have to use public charging to charge it. It's just not a good situation at all for those people. And those are the kind of people who buy used vehicles and older used vehicles. So I don't know what's going to happen with all of those. And the more exotic cars, do those folks want cars with turbocharged engines? Do they want hybrids? Probably neither of these, really.
Well, in regards to the EVs, biggest question I get out of people when they start thinking about buying one, because that's what they hear on the news, is how much is it going to cost me to replace the battery if the battery goes bad in a year or two after I bought it?
Yep.
It used to be range anxiety. Now it's battery longevity anxiety. It seems to me that is what's going to hold that back.
Well, for my issues, it was all about the charger plug that apparently now everything's going to the Tesla charger plug. I get a vehicle, not going to tell you which one, Jack, you probably already know, with a smile on your face. I get a vehicle, then the usual Don Armstrong 110-volt charger is not in the vehicle. Mm-hmm. What is it? It is a plug that goes on the plug to be able to adapt to what I need. This will do it. Wait, no, it won't, because it doesn't use a fast charger. It uses a level 2 charger. Okay, well, where do I go for that? No, you can't go there. Like Shell Recharge, right? Can't use that because it doesn't match up. It was an absolute, again, nightmare trying to find a charging for this thing. And no, I'm good on the electrics. Give me a hybrid, or give me a gasoline motor. I'm good. 5 minutes at the gasoline stop, and I've got 400 miles on the range anxiety meter on my gasoline-powered car. It's great. Right. Yep. So, Jack, you going to have a good Christmas, my friend?
I'm hoping so. Not going to do too much running around, I imagine. My daughters are coming into town, so that's great. And like I say, one of them just got married, so her husband is coming too. They're very cool. They're they're flying back from the Dominican Republic probably as we speak. They're flying into Fort Worth, so we will see them a little later this week, or this coming week.
We offer you a speedy recovery, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, when should you be back painless and ready to go?
They say that I can play tennis and that kind of stuff in 3 months or so. I'm thinking that maybe I can accelerate that a little bit. I go out in the backyard and swing the bat pretty much every day, so I'm going to miss that for the next 2 or 3 months, but we'll see what happens.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Jack. We love you.
So great to talk to you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, always. Go back and get in a relaxed position somewhere and turn on the TV for
There you go.
We got a lot of football games to watch today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Jack, we'll talk to you again. Happy New Year, my friend. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to all you guys. And I really enjoy talking to you every time. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jack. Merry Christmas.
Jack. Yeah. Hey, just ahead, Jeff's Car Culture. Things you're not allowed to do in an RV.
Or you shouldn't.
Plus, Mars has last-minute road trips at Christmas. After this break on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Stay with us.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupe Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupe Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupe Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupe Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupe experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupe beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupe Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupe Tortilla, he's pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon, through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists.
In Wheel Time invites you to join us 10 to noon Central Time every Saturday for our live show about all things automotive. Next week, we're going to do a best of, so everybody can take a break from each other before we kill one another.
It's because there's something coming up next week. Christmas. That's why. We're going to be off Christmas.
Thank you. Yeah. Scared me. My mind is racing at 100 miles an hour. Time now for Jeff's Car Culture. 5 things that could be against the law while driving your RV.
That's right. And RV living and travel are booming like never before. According to the Recreational Vehicle Industry Association, there is one out there. There are now more than 11 million households in the United States with an RV. There's at least tens of thousands more people to the open road each year. RVing is free, adventurous, and comfortable. Yet there are a variety of rules to keep the traveler and the local community safe from you and them, and clean as well. Here we go. Driving an overweight RV is wrong. It's against the law. You'll have a weight limit to prevent any accidents. Based on recent weigh station inspections at RV rallies, more than 85% of the RVs exceeded gross vehicle weight capacity recommendations. Just overloaded, too much stuff in them. The risk of overloading can be summed up in the fact that overloading compromises braking, handling, and tire safety, which increases the chances of accidents. The overweight vehicles are heavily penalized by most states through fines and are prohibited from traveling further until their fault is
That reminds me of the I Love Lucy movie, The Long, Long Trailer, where she loaded up all the rocks.
Yeah. That was out recently, too. Using the bathroom while the RV is moving, although it may not seem like a significant issue. Using the restroom or walking around an RV in motion may be against the law in most states. There are differences in laws depending on where one lives, but there are mainly concerns relative to safety. Since any time, and one may be in the vehicle with abruptly stopped or hit a road bump, it might result in injuries.
Yeah, and splash content is also a problem.
Belting up and sitting will be required when the car is moving on the road. So you got to put a seatbelt on that over. Belt yourself in, strap yourself down there. Alrighty, and don't eat burritos before you go.
Go,
The
Mo.
next one is parking your your RV.
Yeah, that would be for me. The Don Armstrong IV wagon.
On a residential street or driveway. Many local ordinances prohibit the overnight parking of RVs on residential curbs or even in driveways. Now, my stepfather had a Winnebago. We parked in the driveway. We didn't care because it was allowed. In other cities, parking an RV in front of your house or in a street or driveway can result in fines or even towing. Specific neighborhoods require permits limiting the parking duration. These regulations aim to control neighborhood congestion and preserve the neighborhood aesthetics. Although we prefer to park near home, RV owners should review existing laws and consider alternatives like RV parks or storage areas. There's a lot of those around. Driving with the propane on. Don't do that. Another subject there's a lot of controversy is towing or RVing your RV with propane tanks on. It is permitted in most states, but certain states impose restrictions in specific conditions, such as tunnels or bridges. Due to the risk of fire and explosion, such safety advocates sound warnings of the dangers posed by propane leaks or accidents. If you've got a leak in the RV, you could die. I mean, you could just asphyxiate yourself. So keeping that off is a good thing for the RVers. Next one.
We're using helium. That's what I say.
Or other type of gases.
Yeah.
Well, strap yourself into the commode there.
Yeah.
Boondocking is prohibited in many areas.
What is
boondocking?
Boondocking.
Overnight camping without hookups or unmarked areas is becoming increasingly common. So you take your creeper van or whatever, you just park in somebody's house overnight. That's called boondocking.
Okay.
In restricted areas and privately owned lands. It's against the law. National Forests and Forest Services declared that dispersing camping and specific regulations at the time of restrictions. Violators risk fines and are forced removal. By adhering to these regulations, the natural spaces can be maintained and no tensions with the locals or landowners can be created. So always know where you're going to park it. Don't just pull up to somewhere and throw your chair out there and flush your commode and all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people used to, while they were traveling, use Walmart or Kmart parking lots overnight.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. I think some folks still do. Ignoring seatbelt laws for passengers, even though being inside an RV may resemble being at home in a household on wheels, seatbelts are required. This also includes items like the seatbelts on the couches or benches while they have been installed. So, all the gray matter in the vehicle, in the containers, don't just leave the valves open and continue to drive down the road. So there's a lot of stuff. Be careful. You will get caught and they will find you.
You were talking about overweight RVs?
Mm-hmm. Oh, in some cases, if you got your mother-in-law in there, though.
Yeah, that doesn't count, though.
Yeah.
So we're doing the drag racing tour. We've got, obviously a great big, huge tractor trailer rig.
Oh, yeah.
Got 2 cars in it, 5 engines. It's loaded to the absolute hilt. And it always was 10,000 pounds overweight. And I don't know how many thousands of dollars they had to spend on tickets. Because, you see these truckers in these stations along the highway, and all the truckers are over there because they got to get weighed.
Yeah.
Well, they got caught a lot doing with the car hauling.
Yeah.
It was major, and it was a major problem, but it's just the way that it was, it turns out. What are you doing for the holidays?
We're hosting. The kids are coming over for breakfast and to do
on Christmas morning.
The gift opening, and then Laura and Piley are going to bail go over to Jenny's. They're going to do that stuff at Jenny's, and then they're all coming back in the evening. Everybody's coming over in the evening for. We're doing a taco bar.
Taco bar and shots.
Bar and game playing and
shots.
Well, there'll probably be shots involved, but it's mainly the taco bar with all the accoutrement.
I see.
How about you, Michael?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. We have a couple of family things. One starts next Monday night, then we have another one, and then another one, and then Christmas morning, everybody pretty well stays home, and we do our own little thing, and then they all come over for Christmas dinner that afternoon, hopefully.
Shots?
Like, nah, not too much on the shots. Too many still kids, but
it's
it's about
bars.
Do I? No.
Do you do shots?
No.
Oh, come on.
Not since I was 12. But the
Since I was 12.
it's kind of like the 5 or 6 days of Merry Christmas. My mother's name is Mary, so we kind of go with her.
There you go. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Is she excited?
Very, very, because she's a great grandmother now, and we had for Thanksgiving, her first great grandchild came into town, 3 months old, so she got to see that, and
wonderful.
Very happy for that.
Good.
Did the 3-month-old drive itself there? Or?
No. His mom and dad came with him. They didn't feel like he was good enough to come from Kansas by himself on his first initial trip.
That's good.
Kansas, the whole Dorothy.
Yes. Yeah, Toto.
Mm-hmm. And the guy behind the curtain.
Yeah. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Exactly.
All right. Well, why don't we take a quick break here? It's time to do that. The In Real Time Car Talk will continue right after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Real Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InRealTime.com, YouTube, Facebook, and podcasts available from your favorite go-to source, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Real Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including driving destinations, Jeff's car culture, latest car news, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's all on InRealTime.com. Join us. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Real Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InRealTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.